Hello and welcome back. Since I last uploaded, which was around 5 or 6 days ago, Amberlynn Reid has given us some more updates on her weight loss journey. And I thought, while I've got some video essays being scripted and some various irons in the fire, in the meantime, I thought I would give you guys another reaction because you seem to really enjoy them. I find them, I don't know if enjoyable is the right word, but I definitely find them interesting. We're going to watch these two videos. There's this one here called What I Really Ate to Get to This Size, What I Ate Today episode 4, which was posted 4 days ago. And then we have I Feel So Defeated, Weigh In episode 5. I think that is the weigh in after the week that she talks about in this this video here. So we're going to watch this one and then this one, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. We're going to be nice and honest. I promise there are more proper video essays coming, but I'm gonna mix it up and give you kind of a mixture of reactions and video essays. So let's get cracking. This video here is the first one. This is called What I Really Ate to Get to This Size, What I Ate Today episode 4. I try to give Amber the credit she deserves if she does something good or she says something that makes sense or I think is true. I'm gonna be honest and say that, and if I think she's being a ridiculous liar, I'm gonna be honest and say that too. So sometimes the videos are more critical than others. It really just depends on what Amber serves us. So let's see what Amber is serving up for the people today. We'll, I imagine, suffer through together, and let's see how it goes.
Hey guys, welcome to another What
Hi,
I Ate
Amber.
Today video. So before we get started, I have a few things I would like to say. One,
I'm sure you do.
Every single thing that I eat is A, better, and B, less than what I ate to get to my heaviest at 572.4. Two,
already I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm sure that is true. What she's eating now is probably better than what she used to eat. It doesn't mean that it's going to be enough to help her lose weight. Clearly, well, maybe not clearly, we're going to find out in the next video, but it would appear to me that she is maintaining a 520-ish pound frame, and I think she's between 5'1" and 5'3". So that's quite an impressive feat. You do have to eat a lot of food to do that. So I think this mindset of, well, I'm eating less, which makes it better. Sure, it's better, but it still might not get you where you want to go. So I do think she needs to be a bit more drastic in her approach. I think she needs to cut out the crap food and really double down on being healthy. But anyway, let's let her say number 2.
I am taking things that I learned when I did outpatient, and I'm also taking things that I'm learning from Noom, where I'm counting my calories. I'm taking everything and trying to put it all together and do what works best for me. So far, I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm not perfect. My meals are weird and random. Like, my first meal isn't even a breakfast. Third thing is, I am counting every single calorie that I am eating in the Noom app. I will not be talking about calories though, because it is triggering for me. Not in the sense of like, oh, talking about calories is triggering, but it's triggering when I sit there and I count on my calories and then people tell me I'm wrong even though I'm right. I learned how to read a nutrition label and everything about it at the age of 10. Not many 10-year-olds can do that. 10-year-olds.
Sorry for the slightly fucked up pausing there. I am going to get better at this whole screen recording thing, I promise. But I think there's something to say here. So she's claiming here that she's triggered by people telling her that she's counting her calories wrong. And I think that that's a bit dodgy. I don't know if triggered is really the right word. I mean, I think the word triggered is probably overused anyway, but I wouldn't say she's necessarily triggered by that. I think she just doesn't like hearing that she's wrong or she's doing something wrong. That at least is kind of my understanding of it, but let's let her carry on. I will try not to make the pausing too annoying. I'm sorry.
Should not be dieting, but regardless, my goal is to allow myself to eat in moderation. I'm allowed to eat what I want. I just have to stay in my calorie goal. So
that is not going to work. I mean, this is really obvious to me, at least, that it's not going to work. So saying I'm allowed to eat whatever I want as long as I stay in my calorie goal, well, sure, you would lose weight if you ate 1,500 calories of Domino's pizza, but that doesn't mean it's going to actually help you. There are some types of food that make you want more food. There are some types of food that spark a response in you to make you want to binge eat. And obviously lots of food is much more filling, has more fiber, gives you more energy throughout the day. Whereas there's food that's very energy dense that you eat very quickly, that doesn't satiate you. And if you eat more of that, you're going to want more of that. So sure, in theory, Amber would lose weight if she ate 2,000 calories of McDonald's every day, but that's not actually going to be sustainable because that kind of food is not nutritious and is going to drive her to want to eat more. That's literally how ultra-processed food is designed. It's designed to make you want more of it. So there's no way that she's ever going to have success, in my opinion anyway, whilst she's eating takeaway food. But let's see what she eats today and we'll weigh in as we go, obviously.
Actually just ordered my first meal. Yes, my first meal.
Oh, she ordered it.
So let's get into it. All right, guys. So my first meal.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Look, Amber, look at that bag. Like, look at the grease already soaking through the paper, and you know the food inside there is wrapped in paper as well. So that grease has soaked through the paper the food is in and then out into the bag. And she's going to sit here, seriously, on a weight loss journey and genuinely eat this on camera as if it's not some kind of joke. This is really tragic. This scene we're looking at right here, where this 35-year-old woman who's 570 pounds is genuinely about to eat whatever this is on camera and try and tell us that she wants to lose weight, there is something very wrong here. Like, the math is not mathing. I really don't want to sit here and watch her eat this, but let's watch it together.
Arby's.
Good luck.
So this is the only thing that I literally ever get from there. I get the crinkle fries.
Why?
Literally my favorite fry. And then I get the French dip sandwich, which is just bread, roast beef, and I think provolone cheese. Dropped a piece.
The thing is that the beef in there, like the beef in there is going to be the most processed, like least quality beef with such a high fat content. At least I assume so. I could be wrong about that. But I really think there is not much nutritional value in what she's about to eat here. It's not going to be filling, and it is just going to drive overconsumption. This is frankly a stupid thing to eat whilst you're in Amber's condition. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I just have common sense, and it's really obvious. I feel like it's going to be obvious to everyone watching this that this is somebody who is not serious about losing weight.
So with the French dip, you obviously get the dipping sauce. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is what it looks like. And then you just dip it. It's honestly so freaking good. So I think...
Is it though? Is there anything so freaking good about eating something that is going to make you so ill and that is so far from helping you hit your goals? Like, yeah, you chew and it tastes nice, and like, I get it. I genuinely do. I'm fat. Like, hey, I get it. But there is truly something wrong with this picture we're looking at right now. Like, I think anyone with half a brain can tell this is not good.
What would be fun is showing examples of what I'm choosing to eat now versus what I would have ate in the past. In the past, I would have easily gotten 2 of the sandwiches and 2 of the fries.
Well, the thing is that just because you would have eaten 2 of the sandwiches and 2 of the fries in the past doesn't mean that it's okay for you to eat 1 of the sandwiches and 1 of the fries now. I know food addictions are kind of hard because I know with other addictions like smoking or drinking or drugs, you can stop cold turkey, or you have to stop cold turkey for the most part. Anyway, I think you can like taper off. I'm not sure exactly on it. But generally speaking, if you want to quit smoking or you want to quit drinking, you have to just stop, right? But when it comes to eating, you can't just stop because you still have to eat, which I think is one of the things that makes a food addiction one of the hardest addictions to get rid of. There's a doctor I've seen talk about this called Dr. Chris Van Tulloken. If you've seen any of his videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. He's fantastic. He talks about ultra processed food and how the food system is basically set up for profit rather than nourishment, and how bad it is for us. And he says one of the best ways to think about breaking a food addiction is to refrain entirely from eating ultra processed food, because that's something that you can stop completely. A very high percentage of what Amber eats is this ultra processed food, and all the while most of her calories comes from that. She's not going to have any success because that stuff is so addictive and it's not designed for nourishment. It's designed to make you eat more food. So sure, she's eating less than she used to, but her at her weight, eating really any amount is not good at all.
Without a doubt. By the way, I did get a Diet Coke, but they did not give me a straw. That's okay. So I'm gonna have to drink it like this.
Oh, why? Why are you doing this to me? That slurping noise, I'm so sorry guys, that is horrid.
In the past, yes, I would have gotten a Diet Coke, but I also would have gotten either a milkshake or some type of dessert. This time, I did not. So when it comes to calories and quantity, I completely cut it in half compared to how I would eat it on a day I was off track.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, sure, you cut it in half, but you cut shit in half, you know? If you're going to eat shit, sure, eating half of the shit is better, but this is not how you should be eating if what you want is weight loss. If you're serious about your health and helping your lymphedema and lipedema, this is not the way to do it.
All right, you guys, it's time for the next meal. I'm going to be making some chicken sausages with some veggies. So first things first, I am going to cut
them
everything.
up.
So I'm
Told you.
just gonna cut it in slices here. So I'm also going to have some Brussels sprouts, but I'm just gonna take some and cut off the edges and cut them a little smaller. So I'm just taking off the ends like this type of piece. And just make them a little smaller like that. I'm also gonna be cutting up some broccoli and cauliflower. And then I'm also going to slice some mini peppers.
I will say, I think this is kind of a random meal. I mean, I haven't seen her cook it yet, but I'm pretty sure she's going to just throw this all in a pan with way too much cooking spray. I'm not here to, like, I don't know, pass judgment on other people's cooking. Like, this is not a cooking commentary channel, but I do think that she would do better if she was eating meals that were actually delicious and tasted really nice. Maybe she thinks this is delicious, I don't know. This just seems so random to me.
Last but not least, some scallion, which some people call green onion. I cut the tips of both like that. I'm gonna keep them pretty big because I'm just gonna be cooking them with the rest of the veggies. I'm actually gonna have one more. All right, so I'm gonna spray some Pam.
I did see somebody say that Pam that she's using, they reckon it adds about 80 calories to each meal. And I do think, and she's cut it in this one, in the previous one that she used this stuff, she shows how long she sprays for, and she does spray for ages. I have this like 1 calorie cooking spray. I don't know how many calories is in this, but if the person's comment I've read is to be believed, that's like 80 calories just extra just to cook it in, which is the kind of thing that she's probably not counting, but I could be wrong about that.
Everything at once besides the green onion.
What is that?
For seasoning, garlic salt.
Of course.
Black pepper.
Of course.
Tapatio.
What?
And some minced garlic.
Oh, girl.
So I'm just gonna let this cook a bit. So I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. Okay, you guys, so now I'm gonna add some corn.
What?
And my green onion.
Listen, Gordon Ramsay, I am not, but that makes no sense to me. Like, that is just the most random possible thing I could imagine eating. I've never fried broccoli and cauliflower, but like, sure. I don't know. I feel like a lot of channels really nitpick Amber for her food, as in the food that she cooks. And I mean, everyone can cook whatever they want. I eat the most random stuff. I've talked about this in other videos. I literally eat super, super random. So I understand that maybe this is just how she likes to eat. But to me, I could not imagine eating this. It's just such a strange concoction of things. And the method that she's used to cook it is so strange. I think she should have got the pan nice and hot, chuck the garlic in, then put the sausage in, cook it a little bit, let the fat release, and then when there's some kind of moisture in the pan, then maybe throw the veggies in, or even steam the veggies and chuck them in after.
Now I'm gonna let this all cook down, and I'll see you guys when I'm done. All right, you guys, so it is complete. I also have some cottage cheese and a little bit of mustard on the side.
I hate cottage cheese.
It's so good. I love a bunch of veggies just cooked together. I'm also drinking water, which this is my second water for the day.
That's
so
good.
Right now I'm eating chicken sausage, veggies, and cottage cheese. What would I have if I wasn't on track? I already know. Cheesecake Factory. So what I would get from there would be their artichoke crab dip, which comes with like these little hard bread things that you like dip in the crab dip. And then I would also get the fried macaroni and cheese. And then for my actual meal, I would get the
For my actual meal? Is that not your actual meal? What the hell?
fried Korean chicken, which comes with rice, a little bit of veggies. It's really good. And I know for sure for dessert, I would get Ben and Jerry.
Oh my god, first of all, it's plural, Ben and Jerry's, as in the ice cream belonging to Ben and Jerry. It's not called Ben and Jerry, it's Ben and Jerry's. Sorry, that's slightly pedantic. Pronunciation just bugs me. Although somebody did at me in my previous video because I said etc, but I pronounced it etc, even though it's etc. So technically, I am just as bad as Amber. Let's let her finish telling us what she would have eaten, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on this whole comparing to what she used to eat thing.
I don't know what Ben and Jerry is, which I'm sure everyone does. It is like a pint of ice cream.
Everyone
knows. Keep in mind, I would order all of these things, but I wouldn't eat every single last bit of it, even when I was off track. I'm the type of person who likes to have stuff of a lot of different things. I am very wasteful with food, and I know that's like a very, very, very bad habit, and a habit that I feel guilty about.
Really?
So I would have half of the fried macaroni and cheese. I would have half of the crab dip. I would have half of my actual meal, but I would eat the full Ben and Jerry for sure.
I don't believe she's eating half of anything. Like, you don't get to 520 pounds by knowing how to leave food on your plate. I think one of the main problems with overweight people, including myself, is that you have to learn the skill of being like, I'm full now, I'm going to stop eating and leave some food there. One of my most like awful traits when I was particularly bad into my food addiction and really gaining weight was I could not leave food. I didn't know how to leave it. I would eat and eat and eat until I was so full. Any amount that was on my plate, I was going to eat it. And that's just me. So maybe Amber's different, but I would very much side eye that she's really leaving half of anything. I think it's far more likely she's eating the whole lot.
Choosing this and cooking this at home, which is literally just a ton of veggies and some protein, genuinely is such a drastic change. So I'm gonna finish this. There's actually a vlog clip I want to film because I want to talk about something, so I'm gonna go do that. It's time for my next meal. If I was off track right now, I'd be having like a ramen, some chips. I always need something sweet when I'm off track after I eat anything salty. And
this is so frustrating to me. So, okay, two things. First of all, yeah, after you eat something salty, you might want something sweet, but that's the part where you just act like an adult and you say, no, I'm not going to have that. And you don't have it because you don't want to die young from weight-related disease, which you have the control to stop. But also this whole theme she's got going here of, well, what I used to do was worse and what I do now is better. It's not really relevant. I do understand that sometimes you have to grab the small wins and be like, cool, I've smashed this thing. This is what I used to do and what I'm doing now is better. And I do understand that. But I think that in this particular situation, what Amber is doing here is using the fact that she used to be worse to kind of justify her being still really not very good now. And that's just not going to help her. What she needs to do is say, that was bad and this is bad, and let me do something new that's actually going to make a difference. I think she needs to do something radical, like be firm with herself, and she needs to parent herself, basically. I feel like Amber never had anyone say no to her, so she doesn't know how to suffer with the fact that sometimes you can't have what you want. She is just so used to having exactly what she wants all the time.
Candy bar isn't enough for me during those moments. So I probably have like a Heath bar and a Snickers. But since I'm on track, I'm having a Diet Coke and an Amy's Pesto TV dinner. So it's just one of these. It's the pesto tortellini.
People say that these are good. I don't know. I think that, to be honest, any pre-prepared meal like that is going to be ultra processed, probably. Amy's could be different. We don't have it in this country, so I don't know. Please comment if you know about this. But I do side-eye any like pre-prepared meals like this because normally they're just for profit and they are extremely high in sodium and low in nutritional value, but possible these are different.
These are so freaking good. This is one of my favorite Amy's TV dinners, so highly, highly recommend. All right, you guys, so I'm about to have a snack. So keep in mind that I do eat similar things, whether I'm off track or on track, but it's about the quantity. So when I'm off track, I order a lot of takeout. When I'm on track, I order less.
We know that though, because that's what she's shown us in this video. My point is that I don't think that that's going to work. There are some things that at her weight and her size, she does need to just say, no, I'm not going to have that. And what she does is she says, well, if I feel restricted or if I feel constrained, that's when I'm likely to binge, because if I tell myself I can't have something, I just want it more and then I'm going to binge on it. But to be honest, that is a toddler, childish mindset. You can't go through life letting yourself have whatever you want purely because you don't know how to take no for an answer. This video, to be honest, is kind of making me lose hope for Amber. The fact that she could convince herself that what she's doing here is okay is really quite concerning. I'm going to keep watching and see what else she eats today. And obviously it'll be interesting to watch the next video, which is going to be the weigh-in for this week, to kind of give us an idea of how much weight she does or doesn't, probably doesn't, if we're honest, lose eating like this. Let's see what else she eats.
When I'm off track, I eat a lot of sweets. And when I'm on track, I eat less. I have a...
Less? Girl, that says king size. Is she joking? I'm sorry. Is she trolling right now? How can she pick up that fucking king size fucking family pack Almond Joy and not see the irony in her saying, I eat less, and then lifting up this massive fucking bar of chocolate? This is really worrying. This is genuinely really worrying.
A massive sweet tooth. I learned in outpatient and through multiple dietitians I've had in my life.
Bullshit.
I need to allow myself to still eat these things, because if I don't, I'm never going to succeed, because by telling myself, no, I can't have that, it makes me want it more.
But that is childish though. That's how a child reacts. That's how a toddler or a baby handles something. Oh no, you're telling me I can't have it, now I want it more. That's just like classic toddler mindset. And also, sure, maybe it makes sense within the realm of a healthy diet to have small amounts of certain foods. Someone might have like a small little chocolate bar or a packet of Skittles or something within their calorie limit to help them kind of stay balanced. And even the healthy thin people that you know, for example, I think of my brother, he's in extremely good shape. He'll still sometimes eat a donut or a cake or whatever, but it's more that generally speaking healthy choices are made much more often than not. I don't believe that her sitting here at this size, eating the food we've seen in this video, including this giant chocolate bar, is going to help her in any way. I'm predicting right now that there is going to be no weight loss this week if she carries on like this.
And when I want it more and I keep depriving, that is when I'll have 3 of these at once instead of just
3.
1. So
Girl, 3? I would be sick. Even 1. Can she not see the size of it? It just kind of goes to show that when you get to this weight, you lose proportion in your mind. You kind of lose track of what's normal. I was like that too. I used to go to McDonald's and order 3 double cheeseburgers and 3 large fries. And to me, that was a meal. That was normal. Nothing is going to change for Amber if she carries on like this. This is genuinely like really disappointing. I know I'm not her fucking parent. It's not my job to be disappointed in her, but I really am. This is not good.
it's just a little almond joy. If you guys have never had one, it is coconut.
I don't care.
With almonds on the inside and chocolate on the outside.
No.
So what I would be eating now instead of this would probably be like a massive bowl of Fruity Pebbles. All right, you guys. So
so you would eat a massive bowl of cereal, but instead you're eating a massive bar of chocolate. Girl, you need to, this is not computing. There is a disconnect. I think there must genuinely be a screw loose in her mind that she can't see the link between this massive bar of chocolate in her hand and the fact that she's this weight. Shooting 5 people in the face is better than shooting 6 people in the face, but it's still fucking awful. Do you know what I mean?
I am done eating, but I want to do something I've never done before. As you guys saw, I mentioned everything that I ate today versus everything that I would eat on a day where I'm off track. Here is everything that I ate today. And now,
look at how smug she is. Like, I've thought this through, guys. I've got this fancy idea. I've done this editing. Here is this. Here is this. Like, girl, look. Okay, let's compare these.
Over here, everything that I ate on a day where I am off track.
What she's basically done here is just copy over what she ate anyway, but made it look worse. So when she's on track, she eats French dip and fries, allegedly. But then when she's off track, she just eats the same thing, but twice. And then she's written cookies, I think that says. I don't know, man. I think even the on-track day, to be honest, is not looking good. The proof will be in the pudding, and I could be wrong, but I don't really believe that this is all she ate today. I really, really don't. Let me know if you believe it. I don't know. We'll find out in the next video, the way in, if this is really working for her and if she's losing any weight. Let's let her carry on for now.
So the reason why I chose to do this is because in my last Let's Talk, someone said, show us what you really eat. And I've been hearing this my whole YouTube.
She's about to say YouTube career. Yeah, well, the reason is because Beck, who of course you know is her ex-partner, came out and said that Amber was lying in her videos and eating things behind the scenes and not showing everything she ate. And like, of course she is. You don't stay 520 pounds eating like this. I know she's just started and this is what, like her 4th week of trying to eat healthy. And it's possible I am just being a broken record here, but this is not how to do it. Like, this method is not going to work.
Amberlynn, you're fat for a reason.
Yeah.
Why are you only doing these what I ate today videos when you're eating like a normal person? I just want to say I have...
This is not eating like a normal person for a start, but also that's not really what the people are saying. What they're saying is you're lying, you're eating more than you're showing in these videos.
In the past done off-track videos, but they do not make me feel good. They make me feel horrific. I don't see the point in it. Doing on-track what I ate today videos, it's like a continuous reminder through the day of like, Amberlynn, stay on track. And it feels good. So filming off-track videos feels bad. Filming on-track videos feels good. So I'm not eating anything else for the rest of the night, but I also would have ate chips, salami, probably an ice cream bar. So that's why that is added on the off-track day. Is every single day like that on the off-track day? No. But there are a large quantity of days that do look like that. I want to be as transparent as possible. So I thought doing something like this would show transparency. Not only
it doesn't show transparency, it just shows, to be honest, even more of a facade. So she's saying, allegedly, she's claimed that this is all she's eaten today. Even this, in my opinion, is not a healthy day. But just because she's got another list here for off track where she's chucked a load of other food on there, it doesn't show anything, it doesn't prove anything. The fact is, the proof is in her weight, and her weight is not going down. She's so good at twisting and manipulating the question to serve the purpose that she wants to serve. It's really quite frustrating as a viewer to watch her do it.
Not only that, but it shows like really big improvement. I know people see me eat Arby's and they saw me eat candy today and they're probably like, girl, like how is that on track? Showing what I ate today versus what I eat off track shows like, oh wow, she actually did make a really big adjustment to her day.
No, it doesn't. Just because you've eaten less crap doesn't mean you haven't still eaten crap. Like, I'm sorry, but that doesn't show an adjustment. It doesn't show you as an adult woman pulling up your socks and saying, no, I'm going to make a big fucking change in my life. The fundamental fact of the situation is you can't eat massive chocolate bars and order takeout when you're 520 pounds and your life is at risk.
So anyways, let's just get into food for thought. If you had to improve one thing about today's food intake, what would it be?
I'm going to answer for her because I like doing this. She should have had a much more nutritious breakfast, so do not eat a fucking burger for breakfast or French dip sandwich or whatever the hell that was. Even if miraculously with eating all of this food she's still fallen in a calorie deficit, there's still hardly any nutritional content to what she ate today. Let's see what she says. No doubt she'll say this was the best day she's ever had and this day was perfect because she's that deluded.
I don't see anything that I wanted to improve on. I feel like I did really good, but if I had to choose,
no.
I would have had Arby's for dinner and I would have woken up and had like a normal, good, decent breakfast. Was there a moment today that you were about to fall off track but you stopped yourself? There were a couple where
girl, you did fall off track. You ordered takeout. You ate a massive bar of chocolate. Like, how can she not see that? This was by no means on track. Am I crazy? Like, am I living in crazy land right now? This is so illogical.
Oh, I should just order again for the day. And I have those thoughts frequently, but I've gotten a lot better at saying no. And I was successful in that. I ordered my one takeout and that was that. Do you consider today a successful day for you? No one else, just you. Why or why not?
Of course she does.
And I think me talking more about, okay, so this is an on-track day versus this was what I would do if it was an off-track day, it made me realize that more and more. Because
no, that was just you trying to justify you eating all this shit.
Sometimes I can beat myself up thinking, oh my god, I had candy, or oh my god, I had Arby's. But like, girl, you need to stay in moderation lane because you'll fail if you don't. Again,
no, you need to stay in moderation to an extent, but that is not moderation. Eating takeout is not moderation. I don't know, maybe I'm boring myself at this point, but she's just so frustrating.
I don't want to repeat myself, but there's a science behind it. It's like the more you say no, do not have something, the more you want it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
That mindset that she claims, the more you say no, the more you want it, is just, that's how children think. Like, that's not how it works. Anyway, let's watch the next video, which is this weigh-in. This video is called I Feel So Defeated, weigh-in episode 5. She posted this 2 hours ago, so it's quite recent. Based on the way she's been eating and what she ate in this day that we just watched, I will be very surprised if she's managed to lose any weight this week. Okay, let's see what Amber has to say.
Hey guys, so welcome to my weigh-in.
Hi, Amber.
I'm getting around to filming this pretty late at night. I already did my live stream and everything, and usually by my Tuesday live stream, I've already had this filmed, edited, and scheduled to go up for the next day. But I'm not feeling the greatest, and I'm going to tell you the reason why in this video, so let's just get straight to it. First, we're going to start off with the 5 questions that I do every weigh-in video, and where I get those is Instagram. So once a week, I go on there and I say, ask me any weight, health, food-related questions. What makes you say that the eating scenes in 600 Pound Life are exaggerated and not real? So I said that in a past.
This is a very random question, but okay.
Weigh-in video because it's true. I've actually been contacted by multiple people who have been in 600 Pound Life, and I myself have contacted a couple people myself. And I'm also actually pretty good friends with 2 people who have been on shows like that. And they do exaggerate those scenes, especially in 600 Pound Life. And
there's no X in especially.
I only know that because people who have been on 600 Pound Life have told me that personally. Plus, I am also someone who is over 500 pounds. I was almost 600 pounds at one point. Why do you think people freak out?
I don't really understand how that relates. Like, her being 500 pounds, how does that relate to them exaggerating the shots in my 600 Pound Life? Not gonna lie, I kind of do believe that they do exaggerate those shots because, I don't know, the way the person, like their enabler, whoever it is, cooks all this food and brings all the food in. Sure, it probably is exaggerated to get the shot, but the person is a very extreme weight and they've clearly got there by eating a very extreme way. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is how they eat, but I don't really get why Amber cares. Let's let her read the next question.
About the size of a 20-piece nugget, but will order a 10-piece with a large fry and act like that is any better.
What? That is the most random question. I don't understand that question. This is so strange.
Good point, good point. I think just like hearing a 20-piece nugget, it's like, whoa, that's crazy. But when you do the calories for a 20-piece nugget versus like a regular meal that you can get at McDonald's, which is a 10-piece nugget with a large fry, it's about the same calories. There's a little bit more calories in the nugget and fry, but the protein and the carbs are better if you just get the 20-piece nugget. I'm not saying either of these options are good for you, but the same people judging someone for ordering a 20-piece nugget will also go to McDonald's and get the nuggets and fries. I think
Yeah, but that person probably isn't 520 pounds and headed for an early grave. So,
I think
I don't
people like
know.
to play mind tricks because, like, when you see like sodium, for an example, on nutrition labels, you don't really think about your own sodium consumption. I see so many people telling me, oh my God, Amberlynn, like that's so much sodium in that ramen that you're eating, blah, blah, blah. But the same people will make rice-a-roni for them and their family, not realizing that that also has a lot of sodium. Or even just like a can of corn, they add sodium to these things. Everything has sodium. Americans just eat a lot of sodium without even realizing it. Have you thought about
Yeah, that was so weird. That was such a strange way to try and justify her eating sodium. I almost don't know what to say because it's so clear that these comments aren't even real questions. They're just her trying to justify this thing that she wants to talk about, whatever it might be. The sodium thing, like she does need to eat less sodium. She needs to stop worrying about other people, what they cook and what they eat. She needs to focus a little bit closer to home and stop eating sodium herself. She's the one who needs her body to stop retaining so much liquid. So this is really strange. I'm looking at the next question I can see here. Have you thought about asking ChatGPT how many calories you should eat to lose weight? Like, what? This is such a weird question.
asking ChatGPT how many calories you should eat to lose weight? So I never thought about it. So I decided to do it. And when I did do it, it prompted me. It was like, can you tell me a bit about yourself? Can you tell me like age, weight, height, any medical things that could be wrong with you? And I like that aspect because like when you try to do these like metabolic rate things online, it literally just asks for your height, your gender, and your weight. And it's like, no, there's more to it. So I thought that was cool that ChatGPT actually asked for that. So here's the screenshot. And as you can see, ChatGPT thinks that I should eat anywhere between 2,200 and 2,400, which is something I've always said. And it literally shows the reason why I should be eating at this lower limit, such as weight loss is slower for me due to the lipedema and the lymphedema and how that fluid retention shows up on the scale a lot, which I've also said to you guys.
Look how fucking smug she is about that. The thing is, though, Amber, sure, your body might retain extra water and make you weigh more, but if you're eating in a calorie deficit, you're still losing weight. Just because the sodium that you eat might make your body retain water, it doesn't mean that the fat that you've actually managed to eat through whilst being in a calorie deficit, or burn is probably a better phrase, whilst being in a calorie deficit doesn't count. Using that as an excuse to keep eating shit is so fucking flawed. Look at how like happy and proud she is of the fact that ChatGPT told her to eat 2,200 calories. Like, it's just so strange to me. Why are you so concerned with what people think and what ChatGPT says and with being right about something? Fucking worry a little bit more about being healthy. So strange
Pretty
to
much
me.
everything that ChatGPT says in this screenshot is exactly what I've said. Like how my metabolism is a lot slower due to hysterectomy. It's also slower due to me having no estrogen in my body, slower because I went through menopause, and it's slower because of the years of yo-yo dieting. If you continue to like make your calories super low, lower than they need to be, that'll continue to mess with your metabolic rate. And then I got curious because there's lovely rumors always floating around that I should be eating like 10,000 calories a day to maintain my weight.
Oh, this is such bullshit. So, first of all, why are you so obsessed with rumors that are going around? Like, just honestly, please stop. Your entire content is just you addressing rumors and it's getting boring. But also, I don't think anyone's telling her to eat 10,000 calories. No one is telling her to eat that. People are just saying perhaps eating too low might trigger you to binge. Nobody is telling Amber to eat 10,000 calories. Not one person, I bet.
That is wild and so off base and untrue. Like I know that like already like as a person that that's not true, but I was like, you know what? ChatGPT has never been wrong for me. So I'm curious. I was like, ChatGPT, how many calories do I need for myself to maintain the weight that I'm at? ChatGPT confirms the misconceptions are not real. I need between 3,200 to 3,400, which is actually really easy for me. Like eating that is very easy for someone my size. And it's actually pretty easy to do without even realizing it. And for some reason, people just don't want to believe that. I don't understand why.
It's because you are so heavy that you're carrying so much extra weight that when you move, you burn way more calories than other people do. Sure, going through menopause and having a slower metabolism will play a role, but I personally think if Amber ate 3,000 calories a day, she would still lose weight. All of this like glee and smugness that she's getting from using ChatGPT and it confirming what she already believes is just kind of grating and hard to watch, not gonna lie.
But like I'm living proof because I am my person. I am like in my body, I am me, and I'm just sharing that based on my experiences. How often do you grocery shop? So I'll either go every week or bi-weekly. So sometimes I'll skip a week, but definitely only once a week. Is your new friend a caretaker because you are so big? Y'all, the goalpost has absolutely moved. Like, it's ridiculous. So at first I would talk about my friend in my videos and people would be like, oh my god, she's imaginary, or oh my god, like Amberlynn's making up this friend. And now that you guys have heard her voice in my videos, the goalpost has moved and now it's a caretaker. Like, stop with the fat phobia. I understand that I'm really large, but I live by myself. No one comes in my apartment. Like, not even my mom. Every time we hang out, we're always hanging out like outside of my apartment, going and doing things and spending time out. I don't need a caretaker. I don't need anyone to help me with anything. Yes, I don't drive. I'm fully aware. But when it comes to the things that people are assuming due to the fat shaming, I don't need anyone. I take care of everything myself.
I don't think it's fat shaming because we have evidence from her previous partners that she in fact did need lots of physical help and support. And at the time when she was with Beck, sure, she was about 50-ish pounds more than she is now, but she still needed help then. So I don't know. I think the fact that she lives alone probably means she has had to find other ways to handle these things. And she probably does take care of herself more than she did with Beck. But that's out of necessity, not because she wants to or because she's grown, but because she literally has no one there. I know some people are just being trolls, but it's not that surprising that people would think this when she literally has admitted that she let Beck take care of her and that she needed Beck in the past. So I don't think she can really be that surprised by this, to be honest. She made this bed, you know, she decided to share everything that she shared. She is the person who put herself in this situation, so you can't really be surprised when the seeds that you sow grow and come to fruition in your own life.
I do not have a caretaker, and I have never had a caretaker, and I will never have a caretaker.
Saying I never had a caretaker is such a slap in the face to Beck, who literally took care of her to the point where Beck was wiping her, doing all the cleaning, going and getting her food. Saying that she never had a caretaker is such a slap in the face to Beck. I am astonished, honestly, that she would say that when there is so much evidence of that not being true. Also, it's a bold statement to be 520 pounds, making no effort to lose weight, and then claiming that you will never have a caretaker. You definitely will at some point if you carry on like this, girl.
My friend is my friend because it is someone that I met in person and I realized I clicked with. I enjoy being around her and vice versa. We laugh, we have fun, we share the same hobbies, like literally just a friend. And this is like also another reason why my friends or anyone in my life will never be on camera again. Yes, you'll see my mom here and there, but that is it. Because all you've heard is a voice and already the rumors are starting. All right, so let's get into the goals that I had for last week and did I succeed in those? So last week my goal was to follow a meal plan for 5 days out of 7 and I did not do that. I wanted to have like a huge veggie plate every single day for lunch and I did not succeed in all 5 days. So my goals for the next week are literally just to win over this like defeat that I feel inside of me. Right now, I literally just feel that defeat feeling. I am having emotions that I feel right before I give up. I want to beat the feeling more times than I don't. And then I also want to start drinking 3 water bottles a day instead of just 2. All right, so now let's talk about how my week went. So I was doing
Before we get into how her week went, let's just talk a little bit about this goal. So she set this goal to not give up more times than she does give up. And she says here that she's feeling the feeling that she feels, say that 10 times fast, when she is about to give up. And I think that that's probably because she hasn't seen success in the scale. I don't know, we're going to find out how much she weighs now, but it's really obvious to me that if you eat the way that she's been eating, the way she shows herself eating in this video, and of course the video that she shows the day that she films is going to either be the best day that she's eaten or she's going to edit it and leave things out to make it look like the best day that she's had that week. I'm really not surprised with the way that she's been eating, that she's feeling how she feels. Success begets success. If you do well, you feel better. And when you feel better, you do better because you feel better. And it's kind of an upward spiral. If you fail and eat bad things and feel bad, then you feel worse. Then you eat more bad things and feel worse. And it kind of spirals you downwards. I don't know everything that she's eating, but from what I've seen in the previous video that we watched together, nothing that she's doing there is going to be making her feel good about herself. I also think that the goals that she's just set are not very measurable and not very clear, so I'm kind of side-eyeing them slightly as well. Let's see what else she has to say about this week.
pretty decent. I was staying below the 3,400 calories that Noom wants me to eat. I was definitely eating in moderation, so I was allowing myself to have like the unhealthy things, but also inviting a bunch of like fruits and vegetables and healthier foods into my diet. There was one day where I overate and I chose like the most horrific foods that day, Because like I said, we are not perfect over here. Like if I woke up one day and I came on here and I was like, you guys, I've been perfect for a full year, it'd be bullshit because it's not possible.
Yeah, but no one's asking you to be perfect for a full year. We're just asking you to have a net positive, so more good days than bad days, so that overall you're in a calorie deficit and overall you lose weight. This whole I'm not perfect is it's just an excuse to not even try, I think anyway.
So this is where things get hecticana.
Ugh,
A few
hate
days
that word.
ago, I mean, I'm telling you, it was storming really bad. It was flooding. There was flood warnings. It was really, really bad. And
So whatever she's about to say here is not going to be an excuse. Like, no matter how much it's flooding, no matter how much it's storming, no matter what the weather is like, okay, I promise you it doesn't make a difference to what you eat. Like whatever she's about to say is going to be bullshit. I promise. Let's let her finish.
and I was out with my mom, and I didn't realize when I got home that the flood was going to be near me. So to get into my apartment, which was literally the only way to get into my apartment, I had to step and walk in water that literally like went up to the middle of my calf. I was pissed about it, obviously. Like I have lymphedema and lipedema, and my skin and my body is just really sensitive to things. So I was soaking wet. My pants were soaking wet, my legs were soaking wet, my shoes were soaking wet.
Can I just take a second here to say the way she says legs? Like, I know it's just her accent, but like legs, it gets me every fucking time. Anyway, and also I'm sorry, but I'm still failing to see how this is gonna have anything to do with her diet, but let's let her finish.
Came home, I showered. I sadly woke up the next day with cellulitis. So there's two versions of cellulitis. There is version 1 where I get all of like the physical leg symptoms. Red, painful, like you can tell there's like a massive infection. But then I also get the shivers and I get 103 temperature. I am puking profusely. TMI, I have diarrhea. I can't eat for days on end. And I lose a bunch of weight doing that. Or there's B. I still get the leg is red. The leg is painful. You can tell that there is an infection. And I really just feel general malaise. Like I don't have any of those other puking, fever symptoms. That's where I'm at here. In both of these areas, A and B, I swell a lot. Obviously, it's a really bad infection. So I got cellulitis from walking in the dirty water from the flood, which is really freaking unfortunate.
Is that possible? Any of you guys who know anything about biology and cellulitis and rainwater, please weigh in the comments. Is it possible she caught cellulitis from walking through a puddle? I really don't know how likely that is. And also, this is such a like roundabout way for her to try and explain why she weighs more, I think. Is this her explaining that because she had cellulitis she's swelled and that's why she hasn't lost weight? I don't know. Let's let her carry on, but yeah, this is strange.
And a part of me like knew that was gonna happen. That's why I immediately came home and showered. But when you have lipedema and lymphedema, like your lymphatic system does not flow the same. So that already makes it to where it's harder to fight infections. No matter how much you bathe, no matter how much you clean yourself. So when you have lipedema and lymphedema, it also causes poor circulation to your legs, which also is another thing that prevents fighting off infections. But I stepped on the scale and I gained weight because I'm extremely swollen. Like the infection has my leg super fucking swollen. And
There it is. So we'll let her finish in a second, but that's it. So we finally got there. She's saying she got on the scale, she weighed more, but it's because of the cellulitis. And I just think this is classic Amberlynn Reid. There is never any accountability. It is always somebody else's fault, something else's fault. It is never just, listen, I fucked up and this is the reason. And even if this is true and she did get cellulitis from walking through dirty water, she could still have eaten an extremely clean and healthy week. And at her weight, she probably would still have lost weight. Maybe she has retained so much water that it's showing as a gain on the scale, but because of her track record of lying, because of how we can see that she ate this week, nobody is ever going to really believe her when she tells stories like this. She's lied to us so many times that she's put herself in this really difficult situation where everything that she says just sounds like an excuse, and it does make her a unreliable narrator. So let's let her carry on explaining this situation. I'm wondering how much she does weigh.
And it's uncomfortable and it just sucks. Because when you see my weigh-in, when I show you the screenshot from Noom, you'll see that I was losing weight. And then when I got cellulitis, It's like all of that didn't even matter. I immediately gained in fluid retention from the swelling. Like, it sucks. I feel defeated because it's like, I know it's not my fault. And after I heal, I genuinely, like, I want to switch things up a bit, and I want to start feeling like motivated and inspired in a different way, because I feel like I've just been in this weird lull.
The thing is that she just said there, she wants to switch it up and she wants to feel motivated and inspired in a different way. The problem with Amber, and I've been saying this for a while, and I think it's really, really true, she doesn't seem to do things because she's made a rational thought and this is what she wants to do and she's going to kind of take steps to achieve her goal. All she does is go completely off how she feels. So she wants to feel inspired, she wants to feel motivated, but she's not actually going to do the things that she needs to do to make the changes. She's just sitting there waiting for her feelings to guide her, and that's just not how it ever is in life, I don't think. Until she takes real, genuine accountability for the fact that her weight is her choice, you know, what she chooses to do is what gets her to where she is just going to continue in this cycle, and it is sad to watch.
I don't know. It could be just the fact that I'm literally fighting an infection. I'm currently on antibiotics. I feel like absolute shit. But let's just get into it. Last week I was 5'17". This week I am 5'21.6". And it's like,
gosh,
this is such a pointless weigh-in because it's not real weight. I don't really know what else to say about it. I just want to feel better. I'm just going to keep taking my antibiotics. I'm going to try to be successful in my goals and just continue pushing forward. Anyways, I'm going to go. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Well, there you have it. I don't feel particularly hopeful after all of that, to be honest. Her saying that she's considering quitting or she feels like quitting, I think that is her foreshadowing that she is in fact going to quit or going to stop making effort. I almost don't know what to say. Like, I feel like there's no, I'm definitely not qualified, but I almost feel like there's no one really who can say anything to Amber to make her make a change. At the end of the day, I don't think there's anything that anyone can say that's going to make that make sense to her until she takes responsibility and acts on what she knows she needs to do, and it's going to start with not eating shitty food. I'm very curious to see where this is going to go. I don't know how long this YouTube schedule is going to carry on for. I think probably not that long, if I'm honest. I would be quite surprised if she continues with these weigh-ins and these what I eat in a day videos, partially because I don't really think anyone's enjoying them, but also because I think it means that she has to continuously keep up this facade that she's genuinely trying to lose weight. At this point, I truly do think that one of the best options that she could go for would be getting back on Ozempic or having weight loss surgery. And actually, I think that a gastric bypass might possibly be a good choice for her. I just think she needs to do something drastic. She clearly isn't self-managing well. Whether it's inpatient, outpatient, Ozempic, weight loss surgery, she does absolutely need to make a massive change. As I said earlier in the video, I have got more video essays coming. I have got more analysis and all kinds of other things on the way, but I like throwing out these reaction videos in the meantime, partially because it's been my birthday. I was away because it was Easter, so I've been like off. I haven't really had my eye on the ball, so I've got a few lives to catch up on. I've got to watch a couple of vlogs from Amber just to kind of get back to where we are with the Amberverse and kind of catch up. As always, if there's anything else you want to see me film, by all means stick it in the comments and I'll see if I can get round to it. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.